Hello, and welcome to Xpwaste, where for the first time in like 9 months, I don't actually have anything to AFK while we record. Hi, I'm Oxie.
And I'm Michael. If this is your first time tuning into the show, welcome. We are Xpwaste, one of the best old school RuneScape podcasts you could ever listen to. Unbiased opinion, by the way. We're a podcast and we talk primarily about old school RuneScape. We're sure to get off on tangents, so buckle up for that. We're talking about the news, talk about things happening in the game, stuff we like about the game. I'm gonna stop doing that at some point, but it just really is funny,
that, dude. It's not. It's people. Oh my god,
these are people's lives, Oxie.
It was funny the first time, then you've done it for 8 episodes in a row, dog. You gotta stop.
We got new listeners.
Get some new material in this house.
If you're not new around here, I do apologize for making you lose the game every week. I'll stop for a while and then randomly I'll start again. So anyway, welcome, Oxie. It's sad that you don't have anything at AFK, but at the same time, it's quite a moment to rejoice.
I was gonna say, actually, it's not sad at all that I don't have anything to AFK.
It is sad, but it's great. Not. It's two things can happen at the same time.
I don't think it's fair. Considering it's my account, I got to level with you. I don't think it's very sad.
Well, I'm sad for you.
I'm really not, dude. On Friday night, like I said, I got 99 rune crafting, and feels good to be done with 99 rune crafting. However, let me tell you, I think the wiki is incorrect. The wiki says you get about 280k an hour with 4 runners. And I don't think that's right. I don't think it has anything to do with my skill or lack thereof. I don't think it's a personal problem at all. I think the wiki's wrong. Because if there's one thing I've learned over the years is that the wiki is consistently incorrect about a lot of things. And if you haven't been following, that's hard sarcasm because holy shit, it was brutal.
Well,
I asked...
In your defense, we did it for several hours, right?
No, it didn't even start well. So we did lava rune crafting, right? We did lava rune crafting with the boys, and I say, it's gonna be the 99. We all get together, and people actually were like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. That sounds fun." And we went out and we did it, and I think it was Michael, Fierce, and Kiro and Chaos Cleric at first to come sign up and sign up. Like they just sort of showed up and started trading me essence, right? And it's not the easiest thing in the world to manage that when you've never done it before. I was thrown off with the magic imbue. I was thrown off with all the binding necklaces and shit. I was just struggling with it, right? And then it just kept going, and my XP rate never got any better. I kept resetting, and I think I capped out at 110k per 110k an hour. And then more people started showing up because word got out that Oxie's doing 99 rune crafting tonight. So we had people queued up in the fire altar, around the trees and shit, lined up to give me essence. Otis says get better. So it's funny you mentioned that. It went from Oxie kind of humbly requesting people to run him essence to get rune crafting out of the way to I was the one there against my will at one point. I think at some point I was like, does anyone want to go play Guardians of the Rift? And the VC in unison was like, shut the fuck up and hit accept trade. It was we were not, nobody was going to let me quit for anything. They did not care. They're like, oh, you truly did sign up for this. You need to see this through. And I'm glad we did. I had a great time with it. I had a great time with the boys doing just the dumbest. And I mean, it felt dumb in the good way, And then we had a drop party afterwards. We got some bonds and we did a nice drop party at the clan hall for everyone who helped me out. We got 99 rune crafting, and it's great. And I'll tell you guys this now. The day this episode comes out, I've gotten 99 herb lore. I'm pretty sure.
Hopefully.
Because I'm doing something stupid with it. And if you don't know what that stupid thing is, go check levels and achievements and just have a sigh on your face. Cause why is that what you chose to do for 99 herb lore? I say this because by the time you're listening to this episode, I have 99 herb lore and I'm pretty sure I'm close to 99 thieving. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, World 514, we're going to kick things off in Catherby. It's not only a maxing party, it's a bingo pre-party. So all of your stacks of everything are going to be used tomorrow. Clue caskets, Temporos rewards, Winter Todd pulls, Guardians of the Rift pulls, Hunter rumor sacks, any preloaded chests you might be sitting on. We're going to go around and we're going to open literally everything. We are going to absolutely flood the CC with collection log notifications. And then the last notification of the night is not even going to be the last one of the night, because we've been kind of talking like, hey, save your 99s. But the last one of the night is going to be Oxie M has reached level 99 thieving. Oxie M has achieved a total level of 2277. And that's going to kind of like officially kick off the bingo celebrations. Many moons ago, Otis made the suggestion that people save 99, so we have a big fireworks show. And I think that would still be kind of fun. So if you guys have been saving them, tomorrow night is the time to pop them. If you haven't been, and you're somehow listening to this episode the moment it releases, and you want to get a 99 for tomorrow night, Godspeed, brother. Just stay healthy. That is, yeah, I'm very, very excited for tomorrow night to finally max, to finally get it done. I keep getting distracted by these Iraq sites, and I'm excited about it because I have not been able to enjoy Araxor since it came out. I got like one task the morning of, because I remember I was working remote. I got one task the day it came out, and then I just couldn't get another one that day. I didn't have the Slayer points. I didn't have anything. And I had to get back to rune crafting or wood cutting or whatever I was doing. So I finally got an Araxite task yesterday, and I was doing big Araxor. I got sat like 4 times. Turns out when you don't actually PVM for like 4, 5, 10 months at a time, you get a little rusty. And I don't know, it felt good to like just do whatever. I got to play Lethal Company last night. It's so nice to not have to like be concerned about that anymore. We'll talk about it here a little bit later, but the Oxy maxing tracker that you guys have maybe been following here, if you're a part of the Discord and you're a frequent flyer in VCs, the XP per day yesterday during the draft, I did a bunch of thieving and a bunch of herb lore during the draft yesterday. It got down to like 15k a day.
Damn.
Like we cut it to 15k XP a day, which I had never seen it that low. I've never seen it in the 5-digit range. And that's crazy. So we're looking good. We're looking pretty good for max. I got Rocky yesterday too. Did I tell you that?
I saw it in the awesome drops.
Yeah, dude. I got Rocky during the draft. Yeah, it was like in like the last round or 2 of the draft. I got Rocky. So that's fun. One last skilling pet on the way to 99 everything. So yeah, by the time this episode comes out, I'm sitting at either 2276 or 2275 if I'm lazy and don't have time. But either way, we max tomorrow, and I expect each and every one of you to be there when we max tomorrow.
So, if you're listening to this on the day of recording, it's tomorrow. Or if you're listening to this on the
Thursday.
Day of release, it's tomorrow. Because today is Thursday. If you're listening to this on the day of release, it's going to be on Friday, November 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, 2024. Friday, November 1st, 2024 for the record book. So when Swole goes back and says, yo, you maxed on this day at this time, I will be, yep, I got you, bitch. I know you listen to our catalog a lot.
Swole.
And yeah, mainly for the folks in the recording booth chat.
Yeah.
But, yeah. In other news, bingo, the draft is over. We completed the bingo draft, and bless. Teams have been announced by now. In real time, teams are announced in like 4 or 5 hours, where we are right now on Sunday.
Yeah.
But on Thursday, teams are announced. Oh, it's going to be an exciting time.
Teams
Michael, my friend, what have you been up to this week?
Oh, man. This week, I have not done a ton, I feel like. Because, like, for me, it's been the conversation for the last couple weeks where I don't want to do much PVM because for me personally, like, I cringe internally. I'm not judging anyone by any means, but I cringe internally when I see like new collection logs and like high tier drops and like any sort of PVM drops in the CC the days leading up to bingo. It hurts my heart a little bit because I'm like, you guys, I know you love this game, but there's so much things you can do. There's so many things you can do that's not wasting your RNG. And I know that's not how that works, but literally, like, I can't do things that would making me miss out on getting a drop during bingo. And that's as somebody who knows the board. But like if you've done any amount of bingos in the past, and even looking at bingos previously, you can kind of guess what content is going to be on the board, and just
our board's
kind of avoid
100 tiles. There's a lot of shit.
The entire game is available to you. The entire game is available to you. So just don't do anything. I'm even contemplating taking this entire week and just playing Minecraft with my wife, because she downloaded it on her laptop and she got a cool shader and she's kind of excited about it. So this week, I don't know if I'm going to be playing much, but this past week, again, I haven't really been doing much. I've been trying to get better at the job search. So I've just what I can do, I think, is Slayer, because I'm pretty close to 91 Slayer. And if there's anything you can get during bingo, leading up to bingo, it's levels. Levels will help you during the event. And so I've just been training.
But don't
Slayer.
play the game.
But
don't do anything.
Don't play the game
that gets you dropped.
Don't
do anything that gets you dropped.
No, don't go.
Only kill.
Don't do
only kill
bosses.
banshees. Just tutorial tasks.
Don't do bosses.
Ignore superiors. Don't.
Yeah. Nuke said that's not how RNG works, and he did the SpongeBob meme. It is how RNG works for me.
It's not. I will say, what do we always say about bingo? Right.
Here's
my
bingo,
philosophy.
But
hours win bingo. But here's the thing, right? You can, in a way, stack hours, right? Because let's say you kill 200 Zulrah, kill 250 Zulrah, and you don't get a drop. You go into bingo, the first tile on the board's a Zulrah tile. People think that's a spoiler. I promise you it's not. If you go into Zulrah with 250 kills and no uniques, you know what that means? You've put the hours in, baby. That just means you're due. So if you go the whole time and you get a drop, right? Or you don't get a drop, you're due, right? It's easy. It's free. You're due. No problem. If you go in and you get a drop, if you get a drop at 100 KC and out of your 250, you still are putting the hours in during bingo. And as an Iron Man, I would think you would want to prioritize upgrades over anything else.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But I feel like at least for Zulrah, I feel like I'm due. So I'm avoiding that content. I probably will do some Gauntlet this week. Just because
you need to do some Gauntlet.
I need to do some Gauntlet.
Mr. Fear No Space Garden got spooned as hell.
He did. 27 KC enhanced weapon seed. So either I get my own seed and we work on armor seeds together, or we just bust out armor seeds and fight for the bow. I don't know. I don't think he wants it.
It's not a fight. Fear gets it. What do you mean? It's not a fight.
Well, if
Fear
he doesn't want it, I won't fight him.
What do you mean he's not
for
going
it.
to want a Bofa? What?
I don't know. We haven't really talked about it, but I'll probably do some Gauntlet. But no, with Zulrah, what is my Zulrah KC up to? I feel like I'm close to 300 with nothing. So if there was a boss that I'm stacking, I'm at 291 with just an Onyx in my name at Zulrah.
Bro, he got the Onyx. He was mauling.
So mad.
Absolutely mauling. PVM Michael is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, because Michael finally understands. And I love it.
I do. Yeah, I think making an Iron Man for me has changed the way that I view this game in some senses, because you said it last week, and it really has been setting in that me on my main account playing bingo, yes, I have all of the items, I have all of the things that make me look like a good player, but I wasn't. And so now that I've been playing on my Iron Man pretty much this entire year, I mean, even before bingo, I was grinding on my iron, and then I took a pause for that week and played on my main, and then I jumped right back into the iron. So this entire year has just been kind of an experience of seeing content through a different lens. I have 15 corrupted gauntlet on an account with slightly less stats than I have on my main, and that's not something I ever even was dreaming about doing on an account that's maxed, So there's a lot of perspective that I've gained playing this account, which has been really good. So if there's anything that, is good out of all of this, it's just that I've gained a lot more experience in being able to play the game effectively. So yeah, I'm going into this bingo with a different mindset, which is great. I'm excited because I'm feeling a lot more confident to do harder things. Like at least within the last couple of bingos, I haven't really been too keen on being like, I'm the raids guy. But this time, I think I will be. Like, if there's a raids tile, I'm more excited about doing it versus last time. It's like, my time is probably better spent like doing this than not. Now you guys can go to chambers. You guys can go to TOA. So this bingo is just going to be a bit different for me, which I'm very excited. And I feel like it's going to be a bit different for you, just in the sense that like you've kind of been, depriving yourself from all of that this year. And
I have told my co-captain, and by now I have told my teammates because they know who they are. In the most respectful way possible, I ain't doing any of them fucking skilling tiles. I ain't doing any of them.
But hold
I don't
on.
care if there are or aren't skilling tiles on the board.
Would you have done them before though? Like, is this even it's a big deal?
Look. So the last bingo, right? We had to get like 4 locks or whatever it was. It was like a free sepulcher tile. It took like an hour, but the drop rate for locks is best on floor 5. So after spending months in the sepulcher trying to get 99 agility, my team was like, Oxie, you have 97 agility, and you're one of 2 people who can do floor 5. Can you go get us some lock picks? And I had vowed to not do it. And I was literally in VC screaming, I'm back in the fucking building again. Because they sent me back to the Hallowed Sepulcher to get them dumbass locks. So, no, I will do skilling content. And I have done quite a bit of skilling content in my time. This bingo, however, unless there's a wood cutting tile, I ain't doing shit. The only reason why I'll participate in a wood cutting tile is because, man, I can never be mad at AFK Redwoods. I don't think I could ever be pissed off at AFK Redwoods. That might be the greatest skilling method in the game, if I'm being entirely honest. So that's my favorite child, and I'll do that all day long. Anything else, though? It's a no from me, dog. But yes, it is going to be very different. Fear keeps telling me that my bank is going to be in shambles.
Why?
Well, because all my capes that I'm used to using are now going to get overwritten by the max cape. So Infernal max cape, Missouri max cape, Imbued God max cape, any even my clue setup is going to get all fucked up because now I'm going to have a max cape instead of the other 3 skill capes that I take with me. So it's like, damn, so I'm going to have to spend a little bit of time the night after the maxing party with my team completely redoing my bank. But that'll be fun. And I'm excited. Fear said you'll keep finding him for weeks. I really don't doubt I will. I still find shit to this day. Or I'll go into a tab and my main hand weapon for a boss will be the Abyssal Bludgeon placeholder. And I'm like, I own a scythe. Why is the bludgeon still the placeholder? And then sure enough, it's because I haven't touched that content in years. But
I don't think I had that problem with redoing all of my what you call them, placeholder things. Because for me, I hadn't really set up any of those tabs. If that's what you're talking about.
You kind of did max before the bank tag layouts became a thing, honestly.
Oh, dude, I maxed 2 years ago. It's crazier and crazier every day to think about that. It's 2 freaking years.
I was there.
You were there.
I
IRL.
Was there. I was the only one. Funny enough, I was the only one. I don't think I said anything. I have no screenshots of that. I did not type anything in chat. I'm fairly sure. I think my character was there because I gave Ray my phone. But I was filming. I had your wife's phone, and I was filming the actual max party the entire time. So we got footage of it, but we don't I have no physical recollection. There's barely any proof that Oxie was ever actually at your maxing party. Other than me walking around the venue, getting video of you
didn't do one of
popping
these
2277. No, I didn't. I really didn't. So,
damn, where's that video?
I would ask your wife because she probably has. She probably has it on her phone somewhere. Because we didn't. Because remember we tried to use your laptop and we couldn't.
Oh, that was so cringe, dude.
Oh my god, yeah. Michael trying to break out the laptop at the Dave and Buster's or wherever the hell we were.
Main event,
yeah. Trying to break it out of the main event, only to find out that the Wi-Fi is absolute ass and he couldn't do it. Ugh.
I should have tested that out, but luckily I had my phone and I was able to log in on mobile. It worked out. worked out. But 2 years ago, it'll be 2 years to the day, I think on the 12th or the 11th. So very soon. Very soon.
Because my cape was 2 weeks after.
Bro, it's been almost 2 years since somebody did your Inferno cape for you.
That was crazy, dude. Wild. So Seth said it's been 2 years. I've been here for this long. Yeah, dude. Welcome to the party, bitch. That's why it's called Bingo Anniversary. Because we've done so much. And at this point, it's a celebration. This will be our 10th bingo event that we've held. It is a celebration of everything that we have done in this community. And I cannot wait until Saturday morning. Board's coming out. What time is bingo starting, Michael? Is it starting at
10 a.m.
11 a.m. Eastern? 10 a.m. your time or 10 a.m. Eastern time?
My time. So 11 a.m. your time.
Okay, it's starting 11 a.m. Eastern time. There will have been announcements about that. 11 a.m. Eastern time. Board's going to come out at 10 a.m. Eastern time. You get an hour to look at the board beforehand. So, yeah.
Not a lot, but still.
It's part of the fun. It's part of the anticipation and the buildup. Ooh, I love it. Oxie has to go back to the farmer's market. We're not going to talk about that, Otis. Otis, shut the hell up. We're not going to talk about the farmer's market. Don't do that. Don't do that.
The farmer's market? I want to talk about it. Like, I don't know. My memory's not that great. So what happened?
The dumbass story, dude.
No.
I woke up early the day of Springo and I went to the farmer's market with the full intention to ask out a girl who worked there. And I showed up, got ready, got there at like 8 a.m. when I thought the market opened. And it didn't open until 9, and bingo started at 10. And I was like, dude, I can't just like sit around. I can't sit around and like wait. This is dumb. I can't do that. And I had to drive home. And I was like, you know what? I'm not compromising the boys for this opportunity. So I went home and I made myself breakfast and I hopped in and I taught, we did like strategy beforehand or whatever. Mima says an hour to find clue step tiles. Let's fucking go. Yeah, that's exactly what we did that morning. But yeah, I ended up asking her out later that week. Did I ever tell you this story?
No.
Oh my God.
But I'm excited.
Okay, this is horrible to tell on the podcast, but it's entertaining enough. So I go up to the stand this girl works at, right? And we somehow, like, we've been getting to talking and she's real cute. And I'm like, all right, cool. I think I'm going to ask for her phone number, ask her out or something. I don't really have a plan, but I have a plan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I go up to her and somehow we get to talking about kids. Don't know how. And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of like the mom friend of my friend group sometimes, or at least I used to be when I had a predominantly in-person friend group. I didn't tell her that because that sounds super cringe. She's like, oh my God, yeah, me too. You know, mom friend without any kids. I'm like, same. And I just sort of casually asked, like, well, no kids, like, no kids by choice. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, I've been single for like 6 years. And I was like, this is it. I blacked out in that moment. I think I blacked out in that moment. And I looked at her. There's people in line behind me. I looked at her and I go, you give me your phone number. Maybe I can change that. And in my head afterwards, I like regained consciousness and was like, Oxie, what the f did you just say out loud? She looks at me and she goes, oh, no, I miscommunicated. I have a partner now. I'm like, oh, sorry, that's so awkward. I apologize. Like, and I like the food that is sold at this stand. So I'm going to keep coming back. And I'm like, I'm not going to be like super weird or anything. And like,
oh no.
Like I pretty much told her like, I'm sorry if this is strange. I'm not going to make it strange in the future. Right. She's like, no worries, dude. You're good. It gets worse. I pull out my wallet. Right. And I'm flipping through to find like the loyalty card for whatever. And she goes, hold on, is that a Yu-Gi-Oh card in your wallet? Many years ago when we went to Xpwaste South, Michael, myself, and several of our friends went to a thrift store. And I believe it was Jake, Fear, or Ray. One of them gave me some magic cards that I have kept in my wallet for 2 years. In fact, I will go grab them. They're right here. I opened my wallet and she goes, oh, she goes, is that a Yu-Gi-Oh card? I said, no, it's a magic card my friend gave me when I was in Texas a couple of years ago. And she goes, can I see it? I go, okay, sure. And I hand it to her and she looks at it and she goes, well, yeah, this is an enchantment. It does this, it does this, it does that. Looks at me dead in the face with the cutest smile I've ever seen and goes, sorry, I'm kind of a nerd. And I go, it's okay. And I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt and I go, it's okay. I got a RuneScape tattoo. I feel you. And she goes, oh, dude. She backs up and pulls her shirt back and has a D20 tattooed on her collarbone. And she's like, me too. I love nerdy tattoos. I'm like, your partner's a very lucky person. She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool.
No.
I think I got on the phone with my bingo team because this was during Springo, right? I got on the phone with my bingo team and was like, I think I am going to walk into the river like Godzilla at the end of the movie. Just like straight faced, no emotion, walk into the ocean after that one. And they were absolutely fucking cackling in the VC. It was, needless to say, there is a reason that I have been single for so long. And
is that person?
God. No, what? No, not that person. Just who I am as a person. What do you mean?
Well, I was gonna say like you're so hung up on this girl that you can't imagine life with anyone else.
Oh God, no, that's not the case. It's just when I try, it comes out as a dies of cringe kind of moment.
Oh, I wouldn't call that cringe,
brother.
I wasn't there, but you know,
that's how I know you've been dating the same person since you were 17 years old.
I was just gonna tell you. I do not envy anyone who has to try and find a partner in their late 20s.
Bruh.
Because I get, like, I just got secondhand nervous just listening to you tell that story. So there's no shot I would have the balls to ask a girl out in public.
You know how awkward it is to, like, be an established grown man, 28 years old, with multiple degrees into career. You have your own place. You take care of your own animals. And you're still approaching people to ask them out like you're 14 years old. You're like, my mom said if we drop off at the mall together, we could hang out. Is that something you want to do? Is your mom going to be okay with that? It's like, bruh, you got to be shitting me. Moose says skill issue. It absolutely is a skill issue. It is 100% a skill issue. It is a skill issue in the same way that the wiki is wrong about the rune crafting XP. You know?
Well, that's great, dude.
Oh, what a time. So no, I have no plans to ask anyone out this bingo because if I end up walking into a river after dying of cringe, my team is not going to be very happy with me. So, yeah.
You can say that for the week after.
Panties should fall when you say you're a therapist, not for money, but for understanding emotions. It's actually the opposite effect. I'll tell people I'm a therapist, and without realizing it, they'll start trauma dumping. Oh yeah, no. Whenever I go like out in public, people are like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" I'm like, "I work in sales. I work in tech." They're like, "What do you do at the university?" I'm like, "Oh, I work for the student affairs division. I work with students." Super vague. Because if I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a therapist, it happens all the time. Without realizing it, people will be like, oh, you're a therapist. That's super cool. I remember I had to go to therapy once. It was after my dad died in a car accident when I was 17 years old. I was in the car and it was so tragic and like, I don't know. But I stopped going to therapy after like 2 sessions. Do you think that's weird? I'm like, I don't know. Can I have a side of chips with that sandwich? Thank you. So I don't do that. Yeah. New says, "Oh, you work in IT? Fix my computer." Yup. Yup.
That's great.
Oh,
so sorry for you though.
What a time. What a time. But no, the only thing we focus on is bingo. That's the goal. We hit 2277. We spend 2277 hours in front of the PC this week during bingo. You don't
have to think about leveling a skill at all.
No more leveling. No more leveling. I will say no more number going up is going to feel weird.
It definitely will.
But it's going to be worth it. It's going to be
need a shoulder to cry on. I know what you're going through.
Nice. I don't think I'm going to feel the same way, brother. Gotta level with
you. Just said number going up is going to feel weird, and I said I know how you feel.
Number going up is it's going to feel weird, but I don't know if it's going to feel entirely bad.
Whatever.
I understand you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. This is a Venator bow angle still, probably. Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh,
so
Michael,
today,
are we talking about anything today?
I'm going to introduce it.
Oh, thank God. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Be my guest. I don't care.
Today, not much is going on actually. So it's like Game Jam soon. And I think whenever it's around Game Jam, updates just slow down. But we kind of got one out of left field last week rather. They're doing an open beta for Run Energy. So Run Energy changes have been scheduled to happen for a while. And there was like a blog several months ago where they talked about things that they wanted to do. And I guess they just decided we have enough in the works to run an open beta. So I say run, pun intended. They're going to be running an open beta. So if it's currently live now, just hop down to one of the beta worlds. You have to save your profile on the main game. You go into the little wrench settings, type in beta, save current profile, and then you hop into a beta world and you can mess with a bunch of stuff. Like I could make my current GIM account maxed in the beta worlds if I wanted to. Like you can set skills, you can have all of the items you ever want. You can like get max stacks of random things they give you. Like there's just a bunch of stuff you can have. And so you can do the testing with the current mechanics live for Run Energy. And so Oxie and I have both hopped into the beta worlds today. We did a little bit of testing and we're going to talk about some of the changes. Like it's all going to be very like algorithm, not like algorithm stuff, but like it's all going to be stuff having to do with like math, and it's just a bunch of code basically. They're changing the way that the mechanics work. So I don't really want to get into like the nitty-gritty of like, well, this is now divided by a factor of 2 plus 7 blah blah blah, you know. I just want to talk about how it feels because it does feel different.
I was just about to say I'm a level with you. I ain't doing all that, but I will go off the vibes, and the vibes are pretty good.
Vibes are good.
Vibes are good.
So the two things that they've done is they have decreased how fast your run energy drains, and they have increased how fast your run energy increases. So they've decreased the decrease and they've increased the increase. And that scales based on your agility level. So I think reading through the blog, they said basically from 1 to 50 something, it's not going to feel much different than it does now, except that your run energy will regain faster. You're basically going to have about the same decrease until you hit mid 50s. But once you get to the mid 50s, you're going to notice there's going to be a slight difference in how often it drains. So for my testing, I went to the giant city of Prifddinas and I just ran laps. So on my beta world account, I had no armor, no nothing. I think I just had the egg and maybe my graceful in my account, which totaled like 5 kilograms. And I just started running. So on my beta world account, I got all the way around Prif and a little bit farther on 100 to 0 run energy. I did that same test on my regular account at 99 agility, and I ran all the way around, and I didn't even make it all the way.
Really?
So I did, yeah. So I did it. I clocked it as like the circle in Prif is a 100, and like each quadrant is 25%, 25%, 25%. So when I didn't have the run energy changes, like on my main world account at 99 agility, I made it 83% of the way around before my run energy hit 0. On the beta world account at 99 agility, I ran all the way around and I got 13% past where I started. So 113% around on 100 to 0. Kind of crazy that it's that good.
Oh yeah.
It's good. And now we're speaking, at least for me, all of my testing was done at 99 agility. So I didn't go into the nitty gritty of like, what does it feel at 70? What does it feel at 80? What does it feel at 90? I just went straight to 99 because I think if there's anything that could give you incentive to want to grind agility, it's going to be these run energy changes. Now, to kind of like put it all into a box, I still think this is a band-aid fix in some senses of the phrase, because the graceful set still doesn't have a very useful mechanic other than just like lowering your weight because weight does play an effect. Like I did that same run on the beta worlds in full melee gear, and I was at like 40 something kilograms. I got almost to the end. I think it was still like that 80 to 90%. So like I couldn't get all the way around Priff with 100 run energy in full max gear with like potions and food and switches and stuff in my inventory. So yeah, you're still gonna like feel the run energy issue if you're wearing graceful, but like I think that they should do more with run energy. I think that it would be really cool, like if certain situations where they just turn it off. Like, does it make a lot of sense to need to have run energy in pest control? Like, it would be cool if they got nitty gritty with certain content and like certain areas you just have a buff and you can just have unlimited run no matter what. That would make some content be more fun. Like if like across the board they just gave you free run energy in all mini games. That's an idea. But like graceful itself, just making you lighter, I don't think is enough at the end of the day. Like what if while you were wearing graceful, it increased how much your run energy increases? Instead of making you lighter, it does increase how much your run energy increases in a sense. But like what if while you're wearing graceful and you're at a certain amount of weight, you just never run out of run energy? Because the increase always outweighs the decrease. That would be a cool perk. Like if you've got less than so many kilograms in your inventory, you're always going to be in the positive so that you just never lose energy. That would make graceful kind of busted and worth to get. So there are some things that I think could still be done, but to me, the changes that they have, like stamp of approval, put them in the game, Jagex. I can't see anything wrong with them.
Yeah, I put some pictures in the recording booth chat of the tests that I ran. So I did it main game and beta set to 9. I did the same thing you did. I ran from the Fortress Coliseum as far as I could get. I got significantly farther on my GIM that was on the beta world with 99 agility than I did with my main with the exact same amount of weight, like 34 kg or whatever it was. Then I actually reset my agility to 1 because what I had noticed, I initially teleported to Vedion. And then I ran from the wilderness. I got from Vedion to the ditch without running out of run energy. And with like the full Torva, like max setup, melee, whatever they had. And I noticed the regen felt really fast. I was like, damn, why does it feel so quick? You know? So I went in the main game and I was sitting with regen. I'm like, I guess it's the same, but I think the numbers tick down faster in the beta. And I don't think they'll like, oh, it's 3 minutes to regen. I don't think that's accurate in the beta worlds. I think it's less time because I noticed it was ticking down a lot quicker. Somebody had mentioned that at level 1, it takes like 12 minutes to restore your run energy.
Yes.
But with the new beta, it dropped to like 6.
Yeah.
So I set my agility. So I set my agility to 1. And I ran from where that picture of me in the avium savannah is. I ran there to the port in Fortis. And when I did that, my run energy, it was moving at a pace of like bop, 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 bop. Like that's how quick seconds were ticking down. So it was quicker than, 100 beats per minute like it normally would be for the in-game clock. So it can confirm it does go faster. Another thing I noticed, that I just sort of like thought was neat. I ran the Howled Sepulcher. So I had to get footage for something that you guys I'm sure will see very soon. Before Dean got 99 agility. And I went to Howled Sepulcher on the main and got the footage. And I thought, you know what? I'll do that on the beta worlds. Just see how it feels. I didn't realize that I forgot a Saradomin item. So I ran floors 1 through 4 of the Howled Sepulcher with my graceful and all that on. I got to the very end. I had like 35 run energy or something like that. And I went to click it. And sure enough, I didn't get any run energy back. I'm like, why? I didn't have a fucking Sarah item. So I ran the entirety of floors 1 through 4 of Howled Sepulcher with no run energy reset and had ample energy to spare at the end.
Look at that.
I wanted to do the test because normally if I'm running a good sepulcher, I take a sip of stam. And I just keep, like, I don't even have to worry about it. Like, when I get to floor 5, after the fire and lightning puzzle on the second part of floor 5, when you get into the sword, that's normally where I pop my stam just to see, right? Which, by the way, sepulcher, post 99 agility, like riding a bike, baby. I got to floor 5, and I was like, how do you do this first obstacle? And then once I did it, oh, baby, we were moving. We were moving and grooving and cruising. It was great. But yeah, the sepulcher felt like the run energy lasted a long time. Like, I don't think I could get through 1 through 5 without restoring 1 through 4 anyways, without restoring run energy in any way on the main. The changes feel good. I remember last time people were like soloing chambers with their run energy, and they kept saying that, like, basically what was happening was that it felt like you needed to bring like 4 staminas into Olm. Just not good.
Oh.
For solo Olm.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was not great. But I can't solo Olm, and there's no way to, like, you can't like get 2 points. Like, right? Like, I can't like do 3-0 Olm without soloing a chambers on a beta world. I can't like fight Zuck without doing the rest of the Inferno on a beta world. Like, right? Because that's what I would want to pay attention to. I can't do P3 Verzik. I probably could in an entry mode do P3 Verzik. Because the problem with the beta worlds, like, it feels good because you have all these stats and all this gear, but it's like still the regular. It's not like leagues, right? Where you can just like solo shit. Like, it's just you have access to every piece of gear in the game and 99 everything. It's not like you're power buffed or anything like that for real. So the places that I normally take stams that I would like to try it out, I didn't. But from just running around the game, it felt pretty good. I don't love the inconsistency of run energy working differently other places. Like, you don't get run energy in this mini game, you have to manage run energy in this one. Like, oh, it doesn't matter for pest control. My opinion on the matter is run energy, like, if they wanted to make a radical change and get rid of run energy outside of combat, I think I'd be okay with that. I think I'd be okay with no run outside of combat. I think in combat, fortunately or unfortunately, run energy has become an element of skill expression in this game. And I think, again, for things like Zuck, for things like Olm, for things like Verzik, I think if you are in combat and run energy exists and it drains and it depletes at these like rates that they've set or whatever, even like the legacy rates for combat encounters, like, sure, people have found ways to manage with that, and I think that's cool. But like outside of combat, dude, like when you're in dead man mode, like running from city to city, it just like feels good to have that constant stride, because like walking in RuneScape feels really bad. Because it's not like another game where like stamina regenerates like wham, 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 and you just like get it back, like in Skyrim or whatever. Run energy takes like 5 fucking minutes to regen. It sucks.
It really is not, in the grand scheme of things, like, it really is not that serious for it to take so long. Because especially when you're in the early game, the only thing you're doing is running. Because you don't really have teleports unlocked. Maybe if you are poor, you can't afford law runes or teletabs.
Or so you're like an iron who doesn't know how to get them.
Or you're an iron. Like, I was going to give the iron angle, but even in such, like, if somebody just started playing and they have like 10K to their name, you think they're going to spend several thousand GP to go buy teleports? Probably not. They shouldn't. And so you're forced to walk a lot. And like, the fun thing to do in this game in the early stages is quests. And quests have you walking and running and teleporting everywhere. So to me, like, it could be better, I guess. Now that you mentioned that, like, yeah, 12 minutes is a long time, but 6 minutes is still even a long time to go from 0 to 100.
But that's at 0 agility though, which, like, dude, it just feels like, I get it, but man, like with the new change to like, what was it? Where you like set a run threshold now when you start running again? Like,
yeah,
they're cooking with run energy. I really think they're cooking with it.
Yeah, I guess I would have to see what the table is like, because like at 1 agility, I guess there's no excuse at that point. Just go run some laps in Draenor. Like you could probably get to 50 agility in a day. So yeah, sure, it's not going to affect a lot of people. But if you talk about like, and we don't have to take into account free to play, but free to play is something to take into account. It can be a way that you get your friends to play this game if they don't want to like pay for a month of membership, or you don't have 12 mil to give them a bond. Like say you want your friend to play this game, and you're like, hey, log into this, and they're like, well, I'm just so slow, it takes forever to get anywhere. That's also something to think about. Like if they could make it 2 minutes to go from 0 to 100 at any level, and then it just decreases slower, that would be cool. I know in RS3 they did a bunch of changes to run energy, and Seth was saying that he did like back clues in RS3 without ever having, like, without running out of run energy. And so I don't know. There's got to be some sort of middle ground. You're right. They are cooking. This is a dramatic change that I think could be really great for the game, and I hope it comes soon. I don't know what this, like, the scope of this beta looks like for them, where we're gonna have it in the game in like a couple of weeks, or if it's still gonna be like 2025 before we see this kind of stuff. But I would encourage everybody who's listening now, log into one of the beta worlds and just like,
could already be closed. Are they gonna be closed by the time this episode comes out?
I don't know.
If they're closed, recording booth chat, get in there. If they're not closed, listeners, get in there. It's fun. Here's a question for you, because Otis actually kind of brought it up. If our proposal gets heard, if our totally unique, definitely 100% original proposal gets heard, and they say, you know what, you're right, we're going to take run energy out of the game unless you're in combat, then it's going to be the legacy run energy system, right? Because run energy, like I said, skill expression, it's inventory management, it is good for that sense. What do we do about agility? What's the point? Does agility then become like a combat skill, like dexterity, because it helps you in combat to have higher agility?
I think they would just need to add like a boatload more shortcuts, and like more meaningful shortcuts to the game. Like everywhere. There's shortcuts everywhere, and they're ranging from 1 to 99. Like you just need to make agility something to where maybe you can like hop over walls or climb through certain windows, even if it doesn't normally happen right now.
Like they did a pretty good job of that with Project Rebalance a little while ago. With like, I recently got that shitty elite clue step where you have to go like all the way to the fucking DK hideout or whatever.
Yeah.
Like those are nice. Like those kinds of shortcuts are cool. They need more of that. You know, like like imagine at 95 agility, there is a shortcut in Trollheim where you can like go down a little crevice and it says, all right, choose a path. Do you choose the war, the law, the light, the dark, or the corruption path? And you just pop out in front of the God Wars boss.
Ooh.
Like that would be cool. Like you wouldn't even have to worry about like doing the hammers and shit. Like that's like a 95, 96 agility shortcut where you pretty much get where you need to go. The only exception would obviously be like, you know, is it more of a pain in the ass then for some bosses? Like Kree doesn't matter. It would save you inventory spots at Kree, which would be cool. Sarah doesn't matter because you use keys for both those boss. Next, you'd probably pop out in the room beforehand, which saves a little bit of time, a little bit of damage. Krill is fine. The only one it would be annoying for is Bandos, because you have to go back outside to kill the goblins. Because nobody keys Bandos. You shouldn't be keying Bandos anyways. But I think like stuff like that, you know, where all these agility checks for these overworld bosses would be cool. But we don't really have a lot of overworld bosses anymore, you know?
A lot of instances.
Yeah.
A lot of boss layers, a lot of instances. You're right.
Like Kotal's an interesting anomaly in that, but recently over the last couple of years, solo Slayer bosses or big group bosses, we don't have a lot of like God Wars dungeon-esque type stuff anymore.
So Seth said in the recording booth, he said RS3 has basically the higher your agility, you get stuff like double pickpocketing chances.
So it is more akin to like dexterity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be cool. I think that would be neat. Like they would have to really sell it. Because we think agility is in running and obstacles, but like dexterity, you can be more agile. That there's like so many different examples I think that could come out of that.
How do you feel about the argument of, well, if you make it dexterity with like RS3, then it just becomes the meta becomes getting 99 agility before doing anything else?
I think they would have to buff the XP rates because that's like as a support skill, it would feel really bad like spending 300 hours.
There really aren't any fast support skills. Construction, I guess. Fire making.
Just buff them a little bit. I'm not saying it needs to be cracked, but at 90 agility, having it still only be 60K.
Holy shit. Michael and I cannot agree on this topic ever.
It's crazy because you've done it, that's the crazy part, that you've almost done every single skill to 99 and you still can't understand where I'm coming from. That
I understand where you're coming from. I just don't agree with it.
Well, you can't agree with it is what I mean.
I was gonna say, I see it. I get it. I just don't agree with it. Mima says lower the rate, skill is too fast. Otis just said Jerry, and I think that's pretty good. That's a good one. The idea that like agility needs to be the first thing you train on an account now, kind of like how fire making is for Iron Men. Like it's more efficient to do fire making and leave your rewards and then do all the other skills. And like, because we had that conversation when forestry came out, because people were losing their goddamn minds over forestry. Because with the proposed campfire buffs, it was like the meta is now start an account, get 99 woodcutting, and then go to Wintertodt. And it's like, dude, really? Like, do we think that's going to be a thing? If we give agility a more dexterity feel, where it's like you have a chance to like double items, or you have a chance to like the issue is like you couldn't utilize it in combat, or then it would become that. Like you can't be like, oh, you were agile enough to dodge this attack.
You could.
But you could, but that's going to be a much harder sell. There is no way that passes, because then the requirement for the Inferno is 99 everything plus 99 agility. Because
the requirement
if there's a chance,
makes it easier, but it's not a requirement.
But
you can go into the Inferno with like 43 a prayer and a rune crossbow and not have a good time, but like you still can do it. It's not a requirement.
So yes, it's not a requirement. For all my folks out there who got their capes, if I told you had an opportunity, a 1 in 50 chance to avoid incoming damage, what does that mean for you? That means that there's a high likelihood you have your cape in less attempts, because we have all died on some bullshit because we're bad. Every single one of us who got the cape died on some bullshit. We took a step out too far at Zuck. We died to healers. We died to triples. We can't count to 1 and we died on a stack, right? Like I died a lot in the Inferno. But if there's a chance for like something to proc in chat, that's like, kind of like in Pokemon, how like, the so-and-so endured the hit so you wouldn't feel sad. If it was like, you use your agility and agile skills to like avoid incoming damage. That's the difference between getting the cape and dying post healers. Like that is going to be such a hard sell.
Well,
yeah. I understand how it would have its benefit. And I feel like if we were starting RuneScape today and there were no established metas, I think that's fine, because I think that's a decent reward of like, hey, you're using your agility and your dexterity to dodge incoming damage, right? Like that makes sense. But I feel like it's kind of like, I feel like now with how well established we are in this game, I don't think we could do that. I don't think we could pull that off.
My counter is that we're assuming that you have to have 99 in order to have any sort of benefit within combat. But there's nothing in this game that requires you to have 99 to have some of the best benefits. The best woodcutting method is at 90. The best whatever method for whatever, it's usually not 99. Herblore is kind of the exception with you having potions all the way to like 98. But you could, in theory, say at increments of like 25. So 1, 50, 75, and then at 99, you have a base chance, and like it just kind of increases to the point where it's good at 99. So I could see a world where they give you a pretty decent chance at like 85. And 85 agility is not that hard to get. I have 80 on my GIM, and I've very minimally trained it. Most people go to 85 anyway for the diary. So yes, at 99, it would be kind of cracked. But if they did include that into combat, I think one, that would be really cool because it's a cool mechanic to add dexterity, and you roll your eyes like a friggin' elitist, but like it's cool.
I want you and everyone. It is cool. I'm not going to deny that it would be cool, but two things with combat specifically. You're thinking in the skilling sense. You don't unlock anything good at 99. We talked about last week how levels are so much more important than anything else in combat. We talked about how at 99 attack and strength, you out DPS Torva Infernal Cape, Rancor Scythe with 80 everything. Because the 99 helps so much more. When you're talking combat, 99 combats is literally the best you can get. And if we are making agility now something that affects combat, which that reason alone it would never pass, right? If we're making it affect combat and the chances go up every single time, your best is to get 99. And this is where part 2 comes in. You and everyone else listening, pay attention to how much you take damage at a boss encounter. Notably, pay attention to how much you take damage that kills you. How many times do you die? How many times do you get hit something big, right? Because if there's a 1 in 50 chance to mitigate that at 99 agility, right? How does, I don't know. That I feel like that changes things so much in a not good way. You know? It's a cool concept, and I think, and honestly, like I said, if we were starting this game today, I think it has legs to stand on because it's cool. I just don't think we could do it today. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's a touchy topic, I think, at least between us, because we have very different mindsets about what is cool within this game is when it's centered around like PVM and combat. And I'm just going to accept that. I think it's cool. You don't think it's cool.
I don't think it's not that I don't think it's cool. I just don't think it would work.
But there's a difference between thinking it's cool and wanting it, and thinking it's cool and being like, but that would never happen. Because I think it's cool and I want it. Because I think it would add an interesting mechanic to the game that people could have a lot of fun with. It anything that changes it up, I'm okay with. And you seem to be very set in your ways, which is totally fine.
Yeah. I think
you're very
set
set in your ways.
Agree.
The other thing I think this beta kind of unlocks, and this is totally off topic. So if you had any other any other points about the agility, I wanted to
we could just keep fighting if you want.
We can spend a few minutes on this because I think it could help a lot of people. So I was doing that whole priff thing, and I had the idea, how can this beta world help people do content that they normally wouldn't be able to do? And one way is practicing for your fire cape. You can set your stats to anything. You can grab any gear that they have available to you. And they have some of the silliest things on that list of gear. So I'm going to give you a quick run through of how to set up to get your fire cape. Well, not to get your fire cape, but basically everybody's hang up with getting a fire cape is that you spend like over an hour just getting to Jad for that 30-second encounter to like really stress you out. So there's a way that you can do it. I think it's like the Jad. I don't remember what the guy's name is, but it's the Jad challenges. And the only way to get to the Jad challenges is by showing somebody in the Tazar city that you have a fire cape. So you can't do this in the main game and unless you already have your first fire cape. And if you're wanting to do this in the main game, you probably don't have your fire cape. long story short, you log into the beta world and you minigame teleport to the Tazar fight pits. You go to the little, it's like an egg, and you pull out a fire cape, and I don't think you have to pull out a fire cape. I think they just have it unlocked for you.
Yeah, there is an unlock everything button, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, just to unlock everything. And so you gear up using all of the stuff that they've given you, how you normally would for a Jad encounter. And you're going to go to the southeastern corner of the Tazar city. There's a little red minigame symbol on the minimap. And you're just going to talk to the guy. He's sitting on like this like volcanic boulder thing. And you're going to ask him to do the first Jad challenge. You can just keep running that back. You can die and go back in. You can die, you can go back in. You can complete it and go back in. I recommend, if you have been struggling to get your fire cape, and it's say like, I've seen people say like it takes them 20 attempts to get their fire cape because they just get Jad hands. If you have Jad hands, one of the best ways to not have Jad hands is to just do Jad as many times as possible. Kill Jad as many times as possible and kind of get used to that encounter to where there's no longer this pressure in knowing what to do and paying attention to what his attack animation is and like tagging the healers. Just get in there, put yourself in a lot of different situations, like move your character around a lot of different places around Jad so that you have a lot of different spawn points for the healers. There's just so much that goes into that I think if you were able to get the nerves off of the table, you would have your cape tonight. So if that helps you, get into the beta worlds and practice Jad. There's other ways to do it where you don't have to have the beta world available, but I honestly think that this is probably one of the easiest ways to do it, because the other way I think involves like the quest speedrunning world where you don't have all of the items that you would normally have available to you. And like, I think you have like set stats in the quest running world or the speed running world. So this gives you total control and it allows you to just like take all pressure off the table. Just a little tip. If you have any questions, hit me up in the Xpwaste chat and I can help walk you through it. The whole thing, all of this is caveated by saying if the beta worlds are still available. I don't know when this beta for Ren Energy is going to close. It opened up pretty recently, so they may take it out of the game like either when you're listening to this yesterday on Wednesday, or it could be next Wednesday or the Wednesday after. We don't know. They may have gotten all the data that they want by now. So as long as those beta worlds are still there, utilize them. And that doesn't just mean for Jad. Like there's a lot of content that you can do in those beta worlds with like maybe you want to try something and feel what it feels like with a T-bow or a shadow or whatever. You can play around. It's a lot of cool stuff. Not just the run energy things.
Also a great time to practice for all my end gamers who've never done it before. Triple Jads. Do the exact same thing, just with a triple Jad challenge. Only thing that's notably different is less healers will spawn in the Inferno. But it's a good time to practice triples if you've not.
Oh, I actually didn't even consider that. Like you can do Jads 1 and 2, and then you can get to the third challenge.
You just take an Infernal Cape and you show him. You
have
to show him an Infernal Cape to unlock the triple Jads, and you kill one, then you kill two. Then you can practice the rotation for 3, and you can like know where to stand and do all that shit.
That's actually kind of huge. That's huge. So do the same thing, except do what Oxie said and show him an Infernal Cape, and now you have 3 Jads to practice. Because I think previously the only times I've encountered 3 Jads is in leagues, and like having to wait an entire year to practice Jads on an account that's actually cracked would be it feels bad.
It's about the pace you're going right now. Heyo.
No.
What's today's conversation? Shell?
Today's conversation makes me want to get my Infernal Cape so you can stop feeling like you're dunking on me like all my people who have the capes. You'll know what I'm talking about.
And you know what, Michael? When that day comes, you will be among those people. I swear to God, you're going to have a Danny DeVito Always Sunny moment. We're going to go, oh my God, I get it. All the shit Oxie talked, I get it. I understand.
Maybe.
When you do, it's going to be a great day.
Maybe. I mean, I've done a lot of things in this game. Sans hard mode top. Like Inferno Cape hard mode top.
Fazani's Nightmare, Coliseum, DT2 bosses. You're like, you don't need to drag the list out, motherfucker.
So I've done a lot. I think I have a grasp on what PVM is like in this game. It's just we have a different view, and that's fine. I don't want to keep fighting.
So, well, Xpwaste, just brace yourself. Once I got this max cape in my back, old Oxie's coming back, and he's coming back with a vengeance.
Please no.
No more skilling Oxie in this house.
Please no.
Great.
Go back and listen to like episode 2, and Oxie's all like happy-go-lucky, like, guys, I love killing Jad. I think it's so fun. The Inferno
I do like killing Jad. The Inferno changes everybody, brother. But no, I do still like killing Jad. I do like doing other bossing content. Like somebody mentioned like AFK Barrows while recording. I think Otis said like AFK Barrows. I'm like, I actually kind of fucking love Barrows. I don't love that I don't have a teleport to Barrows, but that's because my GIM is a shitter. But once I get a teleport to Barrows, like back in the day, dude, I used to have a Ring of Dueling and 8 Barrows tabs. So I would do runs of 8 at a time because I would use to teleport to Clan Wars back when Clan Wars was a thing before Ferox Enclave came out. I would do it with my regular Trident and shit. I would do 8 runs, then I would have to like bank and reset. Because I didn't have a pool in my house because I was poor and didn't have construction levels. So I love shit like Barrows. I don't know why PNM doesn't feel as good. I don't know. I think I'm too low level on my iron and I'm too high level on my main for PNM to feel good. Does that make sense?
Isn't PNM Fazani's Nightmare? Or are you saying Perilous Moons?
Yeah, trust me. PNM beats me like a rented mule regardless of what my stats are. So I'm not as concerned about feeling bad at Fazani's, but yeah, no, Perilous Moons, I feel like with a Scythe and Claw, I should be doing it once, like every rotation. Like I should one down the boss every time. I get pissed off when I don't. When I do it on my iron and I'm 4 rotations deep at the Blood Moon boss with my zombie axe, oh my god, I can't do it. It's so bad.
Barrows is fun. Moons is not fun to me, but that's a conversation for a different episode, I feel.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of good. The run energy changes are good. I think all told, arguments aside, run energy changes are good. Run energy changes, good changes, and we should get more changes akin to that.
Please.
You know what I'm saying?
I think we've been yapping, but like it's not that long. We could send them to break if you want to.
I'd be fine with that. You know, it's pre-bingo time, you guys, and I think this is a very good thing for pre-bingo, pre-commercial, whatever it is. I just got a lamp, Michael. I don't know what to put it on. I guess I'll put it on thieving.
Put it on your slowest skill that you don't like to train. That's thieving. What I do. It goes on Slayer for me. On my
thieving. I have it. I put it on thieving.
Slow? Oh, okay.
Because like
max, what is it going to be?
Maybe I'll be one of those people who dismisses the genies. Who knows? It sounds painful, I know, but who knows, man?
Who knows? Maybe we won't be co-host after you, Max. Oh,
you got to do it at least once. Surely you got to do it at least once.
Never, dude. I'll take the time and go through the dunce random like every single time.
The dunce random is fun.
The genie, you literally click him and it pops in your inventory. You could just right click and it would be the same as if you left clicked. You could just get the lamp.
It's not about the lamp, Michael. It's about sending a message.
To whom?
To
the genie game. Doesn't care.
You're sending a message to Jagex and you're saying, you know what? I ain't doing any more of these fucking skilling bits anymore. I'm done. I'm done. It's break time, you guys. Please enjoy this brand new commercial. I'm preemptively saying I had a lot of fun making it, but I also know my editing schedule for this upcoming week is going to make me want to jump in a wood chipper. So I'm hoping it turns out good, and I hope you enjoy this new commercial. And it's going to be the last new commercial, at least for a little bit. So we'll be back after this.
Join us, Michael. Join us, Michael.
Join us.
Michael. Join us, Michael. Michael. Join us.
Michael.
Oh, sorry, what?
I said, when did the voices start?
Oh, right. So I'm an archaeologist and got this great opportunity to go study the dwarves. There was a city, it's Camdozel, I think is how you say it. But we got down there, everything was going great, and I think we found something that we shouldn't have. Something else was there.
Mm-hmm. Something else. What was the something else that you found?
I don't know. Like I asked around, and nobody else hears voices. It's just me, and they won't stop. They're just there always, and I can't take it anymore.
You know, it's important to remember in times like this that we still need to take care of ourselves. We need to eat. We need to shower. We need to sleep. You know, what is your self-care routine look like? Have you told anybody else about this? I mean, if I'm the first one, don't get me wrong, I'm honored, but I feel like this is a hard thing to struggle with by yourself, you know, and it's mostly Michael. Michael.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. What you're saying doesn't matter. It's like I can do all those things, but it's not going to stop. I just need your help to make it stop. Please. I don't need to hear about a skincare routine. I just need it to stop.
Listen, what happened to you shouldn't happen to anybody. And I'm sorry that you've been going through this. And I'm glad that you're willing to talk to me about it. But this kind of thing is hard. Might I make an unconventional suggestion?
Yeah, if you think it'll help.
Join us. Join us,
No,
Michael.
No, please.
It's easy.
No,
Join us,
no,
Michael.
no.
Join
Not
us.
like this. No. Join us, Michael. It's easy. Join us.
No.
Join us.
No, God.
Join us, Michael.
No.
Join us, Michael.
No.
Welcome home, Michael.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial because I know that I sure did. I have been thinking about that commercial for a very long time. And I remember I was originally only going to do 4 commercials. And I texted Michael one day in like a manic fury and was like, dude, shut up. I actually have an idea that is great. So big ups to Michael for being a great voice actor in that commercial. He's making faces like he's done it already. We haven't recorded the audio at the time we're recording this episode, but I know he's going to be in it, and I know that you guys are going to absolutely love it. So yeah, I hope you like that. I hope you guys have liked all the bingo videos that have come out this week. I'm not going to tell you the answers to the puzzles if there are any, because I also don't know if there are puzzles in the videos yet, but we'll see. Anyways, I'm doing hard clues right now because I just got a Jad task on the break, and I'm not going to do Jad while we record. I could. I don't think I will. So while I do these hard clues, we are going to talk about Patreon, because that is what this section of the show is for, where we shout out the patrons, the wonderful patrons who I kind of spoke with a little bit beforehand of like, you guys do so much for us financially when you really don't need to. And you guys are real ones for that, you know? So speaking of real ones, right? We have a few folks to shout out here as well. So we have 2 brand new patrons this week, I believe. At least I think it's just this week. Yeah, we have 2 brand new patrons this week. I thought we had a third. We don't. So huge shout out to Porker and Lilywick. Lilywick was actually one of my teammates in the summer bingo that I did that I told you guys all about. So shout out to you, Lilywick. Welcome to the party. And welcome to the party for you as well, Porker. Those are our new wise old men this week. Those are our new patrons, period, this week. actually. We have some free folks as well. So going over to my episode read filters, it's time to shout out the King Black Dragon folks, the people who subscribe at the absolute highest tier.
Puzzle Man on the screen?
They might be. Maybe they're not. Maybe we're mixing things up this month.
No.
Maybe they're not on the
shouldn't.
screen just because I feel like being a chaotic bitch. Who knows? You know, maybe the wise old men are here. Maybe they're not. Maybe Oxie will figure out. Maybe Oxie will figure out how to get to this hard clue step. Maybe he won't. It's one good and tough. I have no idea how to get there. But kicking us off in the King Black Dragon tier, we have Apathy, Bingo Cleric, Boston, Brian M, Brooks 70, My Dad, Hi Dad, Cloud Kicker, Dicky Bird, Elite Oreo Dunker, Jax, No Sleep During Bingo GIM, and for the first time in weeks, I can tell you that he did everything, motherfucker. He did everything. We don't have to lie about anything anymore. Jack did fucking everything because I got him back, baby. Lil Drakey, Oxie's favorite white dust runner. Good God, Swole. Good God. Oxie's personal demonic toys, 666. Not like the back-to-back Patreon names. Good God. Our third favorite supporter, Ralph. Run Metal 15. Rylithian, Soggy Waffles, Seppi J, Sparky Life, The Big G Jordy, and War Batroning. Folks, thank you guys for your support at the King Black Dragon tier. We were saying it earlier, right? Like a lot of people say like, oh, this is the perk of the recording booth chat because Michael literally took 7 years to start recording. It was great. He'd sit down. We go, he's ready. Go, oh, I got a phone call. We'd sit down again. He'd go, all right, hold on. I got to get up and do this. And it just kept going. For the first like half an hour, 45 minutes we were in the booth, the challenge of can Michael and Oxie consistently do an episode was like difficulty level impossible because he and I just kept interrupting ourselves with it. And the people in the recording booth were like, oh yeah, this is why we pay. And I'm like, you guys realize you could save more money and get the same benefit. And I heard a resounding shut the hell up. And that makes my heart happy that you guys do that by choice. You don't have to, but you do. And we love you for it. If you want to do that by choice or not, head over to patreon.com/XPWaste. You can subscribe for as low as $1 a month. You can catch our live streams. You can catch us in our recording booth chat. You can have your name read out loud, or you can just follow us for free if you want to. You don't get anything from it, but you can. I'm not stopping you. Michael, are we doing Christmas sweaters this year? Do you think?
Probably.
Are we gonna return to the Christmas sweater arc? Because we made some for 22. And then I don't think we made some for 23. So
we did have 23.
We had them,
one.
but we didn't make new ones.
Oh, I made new ones.
Did we?
Yeah.
What new ones did we make for 2023?
It just says Merry Xpwaste with a little Santa hat.
Oh. Well, we're doing
those
new
may
ones,
be new
hopefully. Because I know it's Halloween and people are like, oh, why are we talking about Christmas already? Technically we're not. We're just sort of like, preparing for, because we're talking about things that make us money. Merch store is where I was going with this. Consider it. Don't talk about Christmas till after Thanksgiving in the US. But yeah, by the way, hope you guys are having a bitchin' Halloween. Michael, I gotta stop talking, dude. That's Patreon. Do we have a community question this week? What are we talking about?
We do.
Just save me, please. I beg you. I beg you to save me, please.
We have a very fun question because this is leading up to bingo. So last week we asked you guys, what are you doing to prepare for bingo? And it could be anything really. Starting us off on Spotify, Otis says, I've been locked at Rat Boss to get another range pot, 1 dose, to try the champion of Scabarus fight again. Been dry as frick. I've gotten 6 spines since my last ranging pot, and no, I can't make them yet. Besides that, I've just been fishing and cooking wands. I have about 3,000 cooked. Also, I went to get my prayer pot stack back up a little bit.
Brother.
Otis, I applaud you for the Scabarus. I applaud you for the Rat Boss, but there's got to be a better way to get a ranging pot.
Brother, they drop in 1 doses from Scurious. Otis, if you're hearing this right now and you still, for some reason, do not have BCS done. Actually, no. You're in the recording booth chat right now. Otis, I'm dragging your corpse to Vedion after this. And we're getting you some fucking ranging potions.
Let's go.
I'm taking your corpse to Vedion.
They drop it.
It's a 1 in 18.
Bear.
And they drop
it
in
bear.
bigger doses. Oh my God, they drop it bear. Oh my God. I don't give a shit what you're doing this evening. We're taking you to Vedion. We're taking you to bear. And we're getting you some goddamn ranging potion, Otis. Because it's time. It's time, brother.
It's a lot at bear. Yeah, there's a lot. You get them at bear. But
there's a shit ton of them at bear. That's for sure.
Vedion's fun. It's a little more engaging. So if you want to like practice mechanics, you can go to Calvarian, or you could just stand there and hope that a PKer doesn't show up if you want to go to bear. But yeah, Otis, there's way better ways to get a ranging potion. Scurious is good. Scurious is training your account, right? But it's so much better.
Brother,
that's all you want.
I don't care. We're taking you to bear. Taking you to bear. We'll take Michael and I will take you to Vedion, or you can go with the crew and we'll go to Callisto in a couple of hours. Because I'm sick of this shit. Oh, you got to get Beneath Curse Sands done, dude. You got to do it. It's time.
Otis has 62 Herblore. You need 72, I think, to get.
You want to know something crazy?
Organically.
Wilderness bosses drop herbs.
We're going. Do.
We don't have an excuse. We're going.
We're going to also
continue the community question.
Board says, loved the bingo pep talk. Myself only having experience with Vorkath, Barrows, and Scurious, now regretting not signing up. However, I've done the majority of the quests, so more PVM is on the radar. Boards, you can do it. Tiki, you can shut up. Brian M says, I'm prepping for bingo by AFK training my combat skills whilst playing other games as to not get burnt out. That's probably a good tactic. That's why I said earlier, I'm probably going to play Minecraft this week. Because
which good tack for other reasons, because you spend time with the misses.
Time with the misses.
Play other games and spend time with the misses.
I don't need to like waste my RNG, but yeah, I'm probably not going to see my family for an entire week. So best get it in.
Who was it? Was it Neetsies? Was it Riley who got his wife like, I'm sorry for the loss of your family member card? Like leading up to bingo. He got her like he got her like flowers in a card that was like, I'm sorry for the loss of your husband or something. Loss of a husband card. Yeah, that's great.
It was Neetsies. That's great. I'm gonna do that. That's hilarious. Get her flowers and a card. Be like, sorry for that. No, that's me like the entire 2 months leading up to bingo, not just bingo. So you know
that is true. You gotta get her a nice bouquet of flowers. That's for sure.
Take her out on a date. Anyway, Zom says, I'm an iron and supplies are looking good for bingo. In the weeks leading up to bingo, I've been doing solo chambers and going dry. So I feel the RNG will balance out once bingo starts. I'll need to run some agility laps to make sure I'm set on staminas and perhaps do a little sepulcher for a strange lockpick just in case there's a barrows tile. Other than that, more raids. Hell yeah. Thor Jones, aka Ketone, says, my bingo prep has included getting RFD completed, getting base 70s in my combats, excluding prayer, and getting some gear upgrades. I'm going to work on completing more quests between now and the start of bingo, hopefully with some guidance from my team, so I don't do things that waste my time. That's probably the best thing you can do. Next up, Scared Celtic says, I'm not prepped for bingo because I've never done one and I feel as though I don't have much to offer my team. But next time I'll sign up. Viking Odin. Oh, that's Viking Odin. Okay, cool. I think that there's such a fine line, and I don't want to get into it right now, but like we will continue to have events. So if you missed this one, don't worry. We'll have smaller events between now and Springo. We'll have boss of the week, skill of the week, fun stuff to do. So there's always something you can participate in when it comes to TNL events. So don't feel bad if you missed this one. Catch us during Springo. And that just gives you more time to prepare. For anybody out there who felt like maybe they weren't at the place that they should have been for this bingo, you have a lot of time. Next up, Old Bjorn says, the most important prep of all, the IRL prep. Doing the chores, filling the fridge, clearing the calendar, letting your loved ones know you'll be out of bounds for an entire week.
Damn right.
That's great. Fizzman15 says, just trying to chase down final gear upgrade, like the blowpipe I got a couple nights ago. First ever on the Iron account. Hell yeah, Fizzman. Glad for you in that. Super Soft Salad says, to prep for bingo, I filled my bar fridge with beer, caffeine, and water. IRL Ceradome and brews and full resource to keep the grind going. P.S. Oxy, how dare you call SpongeBob stupid in the Potato Hime episode? What?
Brother, I said, like, I was saying it as like SpongeBob is not malicious. It's just stupid. Like, it's just stupid humor. Like, it's stupid humor in tandem with like occasional adult jokes that slip in there. I don't mean it's stupid in the sense that I don't like it. I mean, like, you can look at it as an adult and be like, oh, I love that show as a kid. And I love the old episodes whenever they're on. I still quote it to this day. My sister never really watched the show as a kid. She didn't like it as much. And my dad and I always will say, like, something stupid, I'm sure, as a response. And that's a Squidward quote. My other favorite is like, will we be getting business cards? Dumb shit like that. My sister didn't know there was a SpongeBob quote for years. She thought it was just something my dad and I said. But no, turns out it's been a quote the whole time. So I love the show. I don't think it's stupid in the sense of like, don't watch it. It's dumb and bad for you. It's stupid in the sense of like the humor is dumb, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. But how dare you? Next up, Fizzle says, going to get some Slayer point boosting done. That's probably a good idea. And what better way to do it than to miss the sign up for the... Anyway, we had an event this week that you probably didn't know about if you're just listening to this episode and didn't know about it. So we had a Slayer points contest this week. So hopefully that's going great for you all. I know that I may or may not be doing it. I know I'm going to sign up. But like I said, if I'm playing Minecraft this week, I don't know how much Slayer I'm going to be doing. And finally on Spotify, Chips Faye says, taking the final push for my quest cape, doing herb runs and making potions, cannonballs, and cooking all his fish. Hashtag Iron Life. Wonderful. I probably, now that you say that, Chips Faye, I probably should do Desert Treasure 2 this week. I really should just do it. I think there's so many things I want to do that's not Desert Treasure, but maybe I'll just do it. You know what's really been holding me back about it? I don't want to stream it, but I feel pressured to do it on stream. But I don't want to. Like, I would have had it done a couple of weeks
right in
ago.
front of you. Just don't do it. What?
Okay, well, fair enough.
Just don't stream it if you don't want to.
Okay, I won't.
I mean, like, you can if you want to. If you feel like that would be the better choice, that's the more fun choice. But definitely don't have to. Big dog.
Well, you solved it for me. You solved it for me. We still have the same question. What are you going to do? Prepare for bingo on YouTube. And starting us off, Iron Cap says, I have a list of goals for bingo: 85 agility, 85 strength, and 80 range. A stack of Sarah brews, healthy cash stack, and lots of Slayer points. They want 75 Slayer, some amethyst arrows, and medium combats done. Possibly a basilisk jaw if I get lucky. And I've gotten most of these already, but I'll be grinding out the rest of them this week. Hell yeah. That's a big list, but I feel like that's doable. I feel like that's doable. As long as you said you've gotten most of them done already. Next up, we have Gangly Goat says, for my clan's bingo, which starts on the 2nd now, I'm AFKing Vires for combat XP and shards whilst raising money for Crystal and Bofa. Because honestly, screw the Red Prison. 13 shards and 10,000 kills, almost there. Oh my gosh. 13 blood shards and 10,000 Vires? Is that good or bad? I don't know. I feel like that's
really good.
Really
that's
good.
Really good, dude.
What is the drop rate on those?
Like 1 in 1,500. That's really good.
Okay, nice. Next up, Dudeheim says, do all the quests I haven't done. While Gothic sleeps and later. Cooked food, brewed potions, and grinding for gear, and brought all the combat stats, save defense to 90. Won't be an anchor this year. Hell yeah, Dudeheim. You can do it. Spencer says, I'm skipping bingo and trying to get a quest cape. That's a good way to prep for bingo. Looney TNT says, this is my first bingo. Happy to say I'm doing it with TNL. I'm not sure when we find out teams, but I would love to talk to my team and prepare to be in VC as much as I can. I am ready to learn. Well, Looney,
but you about to be learning now.
You have already found out your teams, and hopefully you are learning. Melvin Man, aka Air Quote, says, I feel like my Iron Man isn't totally prepared to contribute fully to this season's bingo. Hopefully next bingo, I'll have full crystal plus a Bofa, Questcape, hard diaries, and prepped lots of supplies. You know what's funny, Mr. Air Quotes? You want Bofa and crystal, Questcape, and hard diaries. The only thing that I have out of that list on my Iron Man is the hard diaries. And I'm doing it on my GIM. So I feel like you could, you just didn't. So we'll see you in Springo. Do it! Do it! Let's see. Next up, Schmitz Stain says, unsure. Love that name. Your name is good. Busco Beep. That's your real name. But your YouTube name is hilarious. Anyway, Busco Beep says, unsure. Has PVM been confirmed for this bingo? Was that a leak or is that or has the board been released? This is a fully skilling bingo. I don't know what you mean by PVM, but there is no PVM tiles on this 100 tile board. It's all skilling. So I don't know what to tell you. But the board has not been released, no. And finally, on YouTube, Soggy Waffles says, got my Questcape and I put in a lot of hours into Slayer and combat skills leading up. Now, just learning some new bosses and unlocking teleports to make getting to those bosses faster. Also, made sure to plan a full day with the girlfriend beforehand to avoid aggro. Oh, and beer in the fridge is stocked up fat. Bro, I want to drink and I want to have beers on standby. But I still have to be a parent during the week. So I could stay up until 1 or 2 in the morning and have beers with the boys. But I got to get up at 6 o'clock every day. And day drinking is just not an option. So maybe for the weekends, I'll pop some beers. But that's going to do it for the old community question. Thank you guys so much for answering last week's question. If you want to answer this week's question, it will be, if you could, would you vote yes to getting rid of run energy altogether in Old School RuneScape? You can answer that question in the comment sections of both of the ways that you hear this on YouTube or on Spotify.
If you're one of the rogue Apple Music listeners, go to YouTube.
That works out. I'm going to throw it over to Oxie now for the achievement of the week.
All right, folks, it's achievement of the week time. This is a bit smaller than I was anticipating, if I'm being entirely honest with you, which not only is that what she said, it's what she did. So it's shorter. We got this. Kicking us off in the combat category, surprisingly the smallest category of the week. The combat category, Walt Kidney killed Zulrah for the first time. Sorcery killed Fazani's Nightmare for the first time. And both Green Ben and Oracle Angel completed the elite combat achievements. That's it. The calm before the storm, as it were. In the skilling category this week, Eisenberg achieved 99 strength. My boy Toilet GG, another returning band member, let's fucking go, achieved 99 mage. Chef Boyardee achieved 99 wood cutting. Eighth Try achieved 99 strength. 111 Zen 111 achieved 99 wood cutting. Tiki Tanked, not the same as Tiki Mug, achieved 99 farming. Chips FE achieved 99 hit points. Myth Poe achieved 99 Slayer. Brandon achieved 99 construction. Raru achieved 99 Herblore. I feel like I haven't seen that name in a while, so glad to see they're back. Ratty Cole achieved 99 prayer and 99 defense. Neetsies achieved 99 hit points and 99 defense, much to his chagrin and the lack of his untrimmed HP cape. Fizzman achieved 99 magic, and actually I think this morning while going for his occult necklace got the jar or the pet or something ridiculous like that, which is pretty funny. Pseudo Wolf achieved 99 wood cutting. Fumble Swing cracked off the B5B with 99 fletching, cooking, smithing, wood cutting, and agility. He said, I ain't doing any of them fucking skilling tiles. I'm not doing a single one of them. P5HT, P-Hat, Fat, I'm forgetting their name. Not Korgs. I don't remember what they're called. Cougar? They have another name that I am blanking on. They got 99 Slayer. I Smash Dads achieved 99 strength. And just as we started recording, Dean achieved 99 agility. W Laser and 8th Try also received 2200 total level. Francine says, I did get the hard combat achievements done. So shout out to Francine 1225 for doing the hard CAs. Big for bingo. Big for the pre-bingo gains. You know what I'm saying? Finally, in the miscellaneous category this week, we have 3 quest capes. My friend Nico, who's not on my team because she was a captain this time around, in Ash We Trust, she got her quest cape, as did McPuppy. At least I think that's McPuppy because the A's a 4. McPuppy and Chips FE with the double got their quest capes this week. I think, did Soggy get his quest cape last week? I think he did. Captain Crash, this is a throwback for all the old timers. And when I say old timers, I mean old timers. Captain Crash completed his diary cape on his 100 combat diary account. Michael almost looked up from what he was doing from that one. Seppi J achieved his music cape, and Dinosaur, longtime fun question haver for the show, got married. If you did something awesome and you want us to shout you out, head over to discord.gg/OSRSTNL. Talk about all of your achievements. Seems like a mellow achievement of the week, but that's okay, because what's happening is people are preparing. People are saving the RNG. I was expecting a little bit more in the vein of like large achievements, right? But that's okay, because I guarantee you, we're not doing an episode during bingo. There's not going to be an episode next week. So between the achievements that come out the week leading up to bingo, which is this one, and the achievements that happen during bingo, the next episode we release in 2 weeks is going to be massive. Because this right here, upcoming on Sunday, this is when people do all the crazy prep work, right? So by Thursday, when you're hearing this, people have already done a bunch of shit. So brace yourselves for next week, folks. It's going to be big. It's going to be good. Michael, before we start the fun question, Tiki says boycott bingo. Don't get any achievements. Throw them off. It would be kind of funny. I got this thing from a viewer. It's from World Gems, but a viewer from a different state sent me this, and I don't know what it is. So hopefully it's not like a bunch of spiders. And I'm going to open it now before we get into the fun question, because I got to level with you. I forgot to do it when we started the episode. So I also did get my things from Mima, and I love them. I absolutely love the shot glass cup, and I love the cat keychain. I sent Mima a bunch of pictures. Blue did not like the way it smelled, and she kept like turning her head in repulsion from it. What is this thing sealed with? Good God. We'll get it. We'll get it one day. I promise we'll get it one day. Apparently, Tiki said, yeah, it's oops all spiders. It's sealed with spider webs. All right. Oh, we're almost there. All right. We're getting through. We got the scissors.
Let's go.
Oh, my God. This thing is so well wrapped. Am I getting engaged? That'd be crazy. That's the story I told in the beginning of this episode. If I'm getting engaged, that's crazy. Let's see. There's a note. Let's read the note. Oh, no way. Started researching Petoskey stones after the ep, and this reminded me of one. Decided to send it your way, Oxie. Hello to Michael, too, from Drago Woods. Okay, hold on. Yes, Drago Woods, I will marry you. Let's see. Oh, yo, look at this thing. Well, this is definitely some sort of fossil rock. This might be a Petoskey stone. The coloration doesn't look like a Petoskey stone, but it has a lot of the same markings. Look at how well polished that is.
Ooh.
Oh, that's very nice. All right, we're going to put this, we're going to get as close to the screen as possible while keeping it in focus.
Look at that.
How do we do that? It's not focusing super well because my camera doesn't love focusing on anything ever. But like,
sounds like me.
But Michael had his head down on his phone throughout the entirety of Achievement of the Week. Michael was like, he's not locked in during Achievement
there
of the
is
Week.
people we have a camera that points at my driveway, and there's people outside that were just standing in my yard, and I had to see what they were up to. But we had a bunch of work done at my house where we had to rip up all the floors, and they just stacked all of the old floors and all the old padding out stuff in the front. And these guys are out there taking that to the dump. So I had to figure out what they were up to. I was paying attention. Lots of people achieve things, and not as many people achieve things as you thought.
What a man. What a man. Well,
thank you, Drago
now that
Woods.
I have opened, thank you, Drago Woods, for the nice little rock. Nice little stone. I think it's, if there's no label as to what it is, I would bet it is some sort of fossil just because of the way it's shaped. Like the striations on it look like potentially Petoskey stone stuff. Because you see this like stuff here on the back, the way it's kind of filled out, it looks in a similar, that's actually a clean focus shot. It looks very similar, but it's got the tilting. And what notably throws me off is this coloration you see on the front side. This more like bronzy, coppery coloration. That's not usually what Petoskey stones look like. That said, Petoskey stones aren't like set in stone, but like one thing, right? They can look a couple different ways. It's just when I look at this one, I don't know. It's got if it's not a Petoskey stone specifically, it is still definitely a fossilized piece of coral from either a different area or a different region. But whatever it is, I don't care, and I love it. I think it looks great. You know? Oh, thank God it's a rock, because I just dropped it on the ground. Thank God it's not going to break. Though, interestingly enough, Petoskey stones actually are very soft. Petoskey stones are very soft relative to other rocks, and they're very hard to tumble because of that. You usually have to polish them manually. But, all right. Michael, do you have a fun question for us this week?
I do. We have we actually got some fun questions in the Discord this week. So that was kind of fun.
We did.
Yeah. Let's see. Good old reliable dinosaur. Dinosaur with the good old reliable fun questions. I haven't actually read this one, so this will be new for me too. But Dinosaur says, if you could sit down with any OSRS boss and have a sort of intervention type conversation with said boss about the problem with them, which boss would you pick? And what crippling flaw with their design, mechanically or physically, would you confront them about? And how would you encourage them to correct said design flaw or / problem? Let's see. This is assuming that a boss could fix itself without the help of Jagex employees delving into the code of said boss. He said, I'd like to imagine sitting down with Scotizo and being like, dog, get a grip. Your death animation is like 20 seconds long. And Scotizo is just sitting across from you, being all sad and shit about it. That's good.
Bandos has that same problem. The Bandos death animation takes like a year, dude. It's so stupid.
So this is an interesting question for you, the therapist. And you've done a lot of bosses. You understand them at a core level, I think. So I'm excited to see what you come up with. I don't know, so I'm going to have to think about it.
Well, I can tell you right now, the archaeologists, I would refer both of them out. Same thing with the Chaos Fanatic. Both of them would get referred out. Therapist brain kind of makes me want to talk with like Commander Ziliana, talk about like purpose and, you know, past trauma. But that's therapist brain. RuneScape brain, part of me is like sit with KBD and be like, dog, you don't need to attack me so quickly, you know? Like, if I could go back in time, I would have a conversation with old Callisto and say, dude, why do you have so many walls up? You know, why are you so miserably hard to hit? You know, let somebody through. Drop your fucking defense. That's what I would say to Callisto. That's old Callisto, though. We did a stream the other night, Michael and I, in Fear for our Patreon stream. And we did Vedion, and we had a blast. And I bitched the entire time about how much I hated old Vedion. Do you guys remember the old Wilderness bosses? They were horrible. The old Wilderness bosses were truly an egregiously created thing. So those three would probably be first on my list if I could go back in time. Jack said Fazani's Nightmare. I would probably have a conversation with Fazani's Nightmare. I would be like, hey, we get it. You can do a portal hand thing. You don't need to show me 50 times. You know, like that's cool. You don't need to show me 50 times.
You
I don't
need to
need
do
that.
it that often.
That's kind of like a conversation that I also would like to have with her. You know who else I'd have a conversation with? The corrupted Huntliff. And I would say, dude, you know what? Can you do me a favor? Can your defense not raise in the final third of the fight? I know that's not a mechanic. But it feels like one, you know?
It is a mechanic.
Like, it's not
confirmed. Last stand is confirmed.
It is not. That is fake.
It is. Where did you hear it was fake?
Wait, where do you think it's real from, Michael?
I thought I thought the JMods confirmed it.
Are you talking about the wiki thing?
Maybe.
Dude, okay, somebody made a wiki article about the OSRS last stand. It was a fake wiki article, I'm pretty sure. And Arcane went to it on Twitter. OSRS last stand. Yeah, the last stand mechanic. It's not a real thing.
Oh, really?
The last stand mechanic is not a real thing. It was a thing on Twitter that somebody put up, and Arcane responded to it. And he said, I'm going to be real with you. I thought this was real, and I'm the one that designed the Phantom Muspa.
Oh.
Because somebody made it. So I don't think Last Stand is not a real thing. So
that makes me feel better.
That's the thing. It feels like a real thing. Because like, bro, you got to be fucking kidding me. You're noodling now. But like, no, that's fake. Arcane got by it, kind of. And he's like, I designed Muspa. And it's not a thing that happens. But that's pretty good. So yeah, I would tell that to Honlith in particular. What about you? Who would you talk to?
I'm going to have a conversation with Cerberus. And when he goes, like when he growls, I just want him to give me a little bit of a heads up, a little bit more before he starts turning the floor to lava. You know, like I just need a little bit more of a heads up because maybe I looked away for a second and now I'm taking like 7, 7, 7, 10, 7. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. Tiki says it's literally timed. Well, Tiki, I don't know then. It just feels like I get shat on every time. Shat on? Shit on? It's a word.
Shitted.
I don't shitted on. Cerberus in general, the ghosts are annoying. Why do they need to take so much of my prayer? It's like, come on, guys. Take a little bit less, please. Other than that, I don't know, man. You had some good ones. The archaeologists definitely, they need some therapy.
He's getting referred out. I ain't putting up with that shit. That's a refer out if I've ever seen it.
Oh, like he's going to be admitted.
Yeah, I ain't putting up with that shit.
I think just for the sake of like encouragement, I would encourage Thermi to try a little harder. In terms of mechanics, it's kind of lacking. So I would look him in the eyes and tell him, you required 93 Slayer. What is this shit? What is happening here? All I have to do is pray range and I negate 100% of your damage. That's it. That's what the babies do. So I would talk to him about his lack of effort.
I think Thermi's typeless.
Oh, is it typeless? Well, maybe I'm praying range for the heck of it then. I don't know. Him and Kraken, I think both actually. I would sit them down. But I would sit both of them down in a room and I'd be like, listen, I know you guys were here first, but we need some effort, please. The occasional 20 that you throw at me, Kraken, it doesn't feel like you're trying. So I need you guys to try a little harder because they're not trying.
Hell yeah.
That's going to do it for the fun question. Thank you to Dinosaur as always. Thank you. If you guys want to send a fun question, you know where to send it. You can DM it to us on any of our social media. I'll probably see it. You can post it in Discord. We have a fun question section for the patrons. Or if you just post it in the Xpwaste section, I can like copy and paste it over there so we don't forget it. You can send it to us via email and I'll try and post it again. But anyway, there's many ways to do a fun question. You can send it as a postcard over there. There's a lot of those. We haven't gotten any pretty recently, but I would love to see a new postcard come across my desk and read your fun question there. But somebody asked about the PO box. So if you're listening and you would like to send something to our PO box, the address is down in the bottom of the description. So every description, recently at least, so don't go back like 2 years ago and trying to find a description, because it's going to be different. But if you look in the description now, the PO box is at the bottom. So send us whatever you got. It'll be great.
Well, with that, folks, we're going to close out this here episode. It's been fun. It's been a fun episode talking about these new potential changes. If you want our links, check the description. They're all there. Bingo starts in 2 days. If you're listening to this day of release, bingo starts on Saturday morning. So prepare yourselves for bingo. We will see you in a couple of weeks when we release another episode. And I will see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on World 514 in Catherby, right there on the beach, to start the maxing party. Bye, everyone.